What's up, you guys? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I figured out how to screencast, so I'm going to give this a shot. This is not an assignment. I just wanted to take a couple minutes and give you guys an overview of the chapter that you've been working with, just kind of put my 2 cents in. This kind of stinks that we have to do this one from home. It's by far, I think, the most beneficial chapter because no matter what field of work you decide to go into, whether you want to go into healthcare, whether you want to do anything, this chapter is vital to you. So a few things, just want to show you guys a little bit about how I got to this page that I'm at. It's pretty simple. If you just go to Google, if you type in diversify health occupations, seventh, or just diversified health occupations. Yeah, click that first one. Boom, right here. So diversified health occupations, just Google that. All the chapter PowerPoints are right here. We're starting with 17, and then you just download it, save it, open it, all that good stuff. So I've done that for you already. I have this right here. And so this is chapter 17, preparing for the world of work. The first part of the chapter, 17.1, talks about job keeping skills. These are all types of skills that you need to have in order to keep a job. When we do this one in class, we usually like to do like this little activity where we kind of do the opposite way, which is why would a employer not hire a certain person? What qualities might a person have that would make them not hireable? So you can just kind of brainstorm or think of those ideas, maybe throw a couple in the comments of this video. Why would a employer not want to hire you? A lot of times with teenagers, it's just a matter of maturity and things like that. And then other times there's things that are out of your control, like you might need to be a certain age in order to get a job at a certain type of establishment. So your book lists a bunch of different skills that you should have, which is using correct grammar, developing good characteristics to be a good employee, show up on time, be prepared to work when you arrive, and practice teamwork. Promoting a positive attitude, which is to say getting something from the job. It's a lot easier to be negative, especially you're seeing that today. I mean, how many people on social media and everywhere else are being totally negative about this thing? You just have to look at the positives if you want to get the most out of your job and if you want to stay there. Accepting responsibility for your actions, being a willing learner, which means like you're willing to take on tasks, you're willing to learn new things. I mean, take me, for example, we're kind of fighting this battle of trying to teach you guys from home. So I figured what was a way for me to get you guys these notes and to go through everything. I sat and figured out how to do this. I've never screencasted before, but I just kind of sat for like an hour, 30 minutes, an hour, and figured it out. So being willing to learn, being able to work on your feet, to change stuff around, it's a good thing. So anyway, continuing on. It doesn't really matter how smart you are. If you have trouble in the social setting that work has, it doesn't make a difference. Without the job keeping skills that I just mentioned, you could be the smartest person in the room, but if you're negative all the time, you don't accept responsibility. If you make a mistake, you're not going to keep your job. All right, so the next thing is all about a cover letter and resume. I usually don't lecture this part. We usually just do it because it's kind of the only way to really do it. Next week, you guys will be practicing writing a resume. I usually don't have you guys write cover letters, but for those of you that don't know what a cover letter is, that's the letter that precedes your resume. So you'd write like an introductory letter, it'd be, just a few paragraphs long, introducing yourself, explaining the type of job that you're looking for, maybe explaining a little bit about your background, and that precedes your resume, which is the list of all the requirements that can make you a good worker. So for job seeking, these are the types of things that you want to take a look at, and these are what job seekers will do. Evaluate what abilities you have, decide what type of job you're looking for, explore sources of jobs. So in 2020, it's easy to do that. You would go onto the internet, you would look at all the different websites. There's different hiring websites that you can go on, monster.com and such, that will help you with that. identify places of employment, and prepare to apply for a position. And as you're seeing right now in this world, it's important that you choose a career and a path that's not expendable. Those that are still working full time right now, you have the medical professions, which is what I teach you guys. They are as busy as they've ever been. Education is as busy as it's ever been. Various government agencies and positions are as busy as they'll ever be with what's going on. And even in finance, even though the financial world is at a halt, you have tons and tons of careers in finance and things like that. Whereas other careers, hourly employees, restaurant workers, sadly are at a halt. A lot of my friends that I work with in the summertime that are full-time workers, with the casinos being closed down, are out of work right now and collecting unemployment and things like that. And that's not optimal. So I'm not saying you have to pick a recession-proof career, but it's something that can give you some peace of mind. And so when you're seeking jobs, just consider those things. So in a cover letter, the idea is you're writing this letter, you're giving this resume, you want to get an interview. And the interview is the most important thing. You just want to get in that room, meet with somebody, and be able to make a good impression on them and get in there and get that job. So how a cover letter usually works, it's 3 to 4 paragraphs. Your book will tell you what to put in each paragraph if you want to do that. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can go on the internet. There are bajillions of different examples of cover letters. You can just make one that's catered to you and to your likes and to the position that you're looking for. The resume, on the other hand, is very, very different. Cover letters are usually straightforward, kind of generic. I mean, you might want to show a little bit of personality and stuff like that in a cover letter. That could be well, but your resume is really, really what's going to get you in the door. The resume is defined as a record of your information. It's kind of what makes you as far as the employee that an employer might want to hire someday. So, for example, like on my resume, I'm going to have all the different schools that I work for, the different educational leadership opportunities that I've had, the different clubs that I've run, the different events that I've been a part of, and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like almost like a brag sheet that just basically goes down and tells the employer they can look at this piece of paper and they can say, oh, I see this person, what they do and what they're all about based on this piece of paper. It's thorough yet concise because you don't want it to be pages and pages long. For teenagers, you want your resume just to be about a page. So it's a thorough, concise summary of you. It can have basic information for the employer to look at. It can be printed. It should be printed on good type of paper. A lot of times, like I know if, I'm noticing a lot of digital applications, you'll just attach it. So you want to make sure that you not only have a paper copy of it, but you have it saved on your computer as like a PDF so that you can upload it to any type of job that you might apply for. The format can vary. Resumes and references too. You're gonna have references on there. The only rule with that is you don't want to have family members. You want to have somebody on there that knows you outside of your job. So, if you're working in one place and you're looking to move somewhere else, a good reference on your resume might be like a colleague on there that knows you well, or your boss that's going to speak highly of you, or if you're in a club or a sport, a teacher, something like that, that's going to be a great reference for your resume. Lying on a resume can cost you a job. So you don't want to lie. You do want to show the best version of yourself. That doesn't mean you say that you work somewhere that you haven't. But you're not going to highlight all negatives. You just try to stick to the positives. So you can leave things out that might not make you look the best, but at the same time, you want to present the best example of yourself. And if you lie and you get caught lying, it could cost you a job in the future. So not a good thing to do. You want to brainstorm before preparing your resume. You're going to keep yours to one page, like I said. If you're mailing it, it will go in the proper envelope. And you could, maybe invest in some good stationery, like some cardstock paper. You don't want to make it too crazy. You don't want like rainbows and butterflies all around the outside, but good high quality paper, it kind of goes a long way. So what parts should you have on your resume? Personal identification, your objective, educational background, work employment experience, skills, and other activities. I'll be uploading a couple examples of resumes for you guys to work off of. You can also use the various amounts of templates that are out there. Microsoft Word offers templates, and Google Docs offers a ton of templates too. Basically, it formats it for you, and you're just filling in the blanks. Makes life a lot easier. Back in the old days when you used to have to just kind of type it all up and change the font and bold and underline, all that gets done for you now with templates. So that's a really good thing. Also, if someday you're really lazy, there are a million of pay sites that can help you do your resume. I typically don't like you or anybody to do a resume from scratch through a pay site. I do, however, some of the pay sites have really good options for people that have an existing resume. You can send it to them and they'll either proof it for you or kind of jazz it up in a way. If you're not really good at formatting, they might be able to jazz it up for you, make it look nice. There's lots and lots of new age ways to do resumes. There's video resumes. There's using social media websites like LinkedIn to house all of your information, and then you just share your LinkedIn. So there's lots of ways to do it differently now, but this is just kind of the old school, straight up paper resume breakdown. So continuing on, you have your educational background. For you guys, you want to just keep it to high school. You don't want to go back and tell them what your kindergarten teacher was. Your summer employer is not going to really care about that. They're just probably interested where you went to high school, or if you're still in high school, or if you graduated and things like that. Skills you have. So if you're like a level 7 on Fortnite, I don't even know if that's a thing. That's great, but if that's not an applicable skill to that job, you might not want to list it. You might want to list skills applicable. So if I was to say leave Millville and apply to be a teacher somewhere else, I might say that one of my skills now is I'm apt in screencasting or something like that. So it's like a skill that makes me marketable, things like that. I'm going to skip passports because you don't need that. And actually, I might just stop right there for today. So that's 17.1 and 17.2. If you guys like this, you can just leave a comment and let me know to keep doing these. If not, I can just let you guys read them on your own. But I'm sure you're probably getting as bored as me at home. So that's why I figured I would do this for you guys today. So huge shout out to all you guys. Keep washing your hands. Keep staying positive. I keep reading everything I'm reading about this virus is that as long as you're young and healthy, it's not going to make you too sick. The main issue and the reason why we're doing all this is just to slow down the spread, because you don't want to be carrying it and then you see your grandma and then your grandma has a respiratory illness and you're passing it to them. So that's the whole reason for this. So hopefully by April 20th, we're all back. And all right, guys, have a great one. See you on the internet.